Welcome back to the Daily Buzz 716. We are here with Ashli Dreher from the Lewiston Porter Central School District, the only person in Western New York that's a member of the National Teachers Hall of Fame. Welcome, Ashli.
Thank you.
Ashli just showed me she has the equivalent of a Super Bowl winner. Her Hall of Fame.
The title sounds like a Super Bowl winner, and we're excited to have a Super Bowl winner in education, which is so important.
Yeah.
How did it happen?
Thank you. Well, a parent actually nominated me to be a part of the National Teachers Hall of Fame, and then there's a selection process, and that's comprised of corporate America and different organizations within education. And so across the nation, they select 5 National Hall of Fame inductees each year. There's 130 teachers currently in the National Teachers Hall of Fame in Emporia, Kansas, and it's a wonderful program which recognizes career teachers, so teachers with 20 more years of teaching experience. And it starts out with a nomination, and then there's a process that you go through, including submitting a video of your teaching and so on and so forth. So,
did they clue you in that they were nominating you?
yes, you absolutely know that you're being nominated because you have a lot of essays and things to fill out and complete, and then you don't know, however, when you are selected. The executive director flies all over the country. Southwest has been a great partner for the National Teachers Hall of Fame, and she flies to, well, this year there was an announcement in Hawaii, Alaska. We had an inductee from Alaska, Michigan, and then, of course, New York.
So she goes and views you in the classroom.
Well, yes, she comes right to our school, and there's a surprise announcement, and that's what happened at Lewiston Porter. She came to Lewiston Porter.
Did you know she was going to be there?
I did not. I thought my students were winning an award that day. The principal had told me to, make sure I was prepared, bring my students down to the atrium, and Carol was there to give me the good news that I would be part of this year's class, the 2017
I know you're probably too modest to do this, but you have to anyway. Could you tell us, like, your qualifications, like how long you've been teaching, and how do you think they chose you?
Well, I think that I've been teaching 22 years, and I'd attended Canisius College and Buffalo State for an administrative degree, and also I'm a doctoral student at the University of Rochester. So I feel as though I have a diverse background.
You're educating yourself through your, on into your career.
I think professional development has been a key component of success in the classroom. I think it's important that teachers keep learning throughout their career, and the NYSET, the New York State United Teachers Education and Learning Trust, I was the regional coordinator for that for 10 years. So I had the benefit not only of organizing professional development for other teachers, but also participating in some really neat professional development over the years from people like Charlotte Danielson, who's written the frameworks for teaching, of course, and other very well-known educational authors and teachers.
Now, you've gotten to go to the White House twice.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, the first time was in 2014 as the New York State Teacher of the Year, and I got to meet President Obama in the East Room. And that was very exciting. We saw the Blue Room and the Green Room and all different parts of the White House. We had a tour, and typically the ceremony is in the Rose Garden. However, it was raining, so we were in the East Room. And what was really nice is that Arne Duncan, who was the U.S. Secretary of Education at the time, said, "You have to high-five President Obama because he will love that." And I said, "I can't do that. He's our president."
Was it just you or everybody? Was there a lot of people?
There were about 50-some state teachers of the year plus some territories.
So he's telling them all to high-five?
Right. No, just me.
Oh, okay.
So he dared me. It was a dare. And I took it. I did it, of course. And yes, President Obama loved it. And he was very personable, and I enjoyed my time speaking with him, and he spoke to each one of us as we went into the East Room, and then the National Teacher of the Year that year gave a speech.
Is there something about your teaching style that you feel resonates with the students and obviously with the parents as well?
I think what resonates with the parents is that I want to their vision for their child and what they see their child doing in their future. I teach students with moderate intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities, becomes my vision. So I look at the teaching profession in general as a customer service industry where parents know their children best and they have a vision for their child, and whatever that may be, it's our job as educators to make sure that we help them be successful in reaching that goal.
But you're
or that
working
vision.
with older high school children, so
Right.
certainly they're still parents, they still have the vision, but I'm sure you have to take the child or the teenager's vision into account as well.
Oh, right, and that's usually co-constructed.
Even if it is a special
Yep.
education student.
Yes, usually there's a lot of self-determination that happens, and I think that my students are very close with their parents, and they work together to create what their vision is for their future, and then it's my job to make that happen. And I think that's why, we have 3 school dinners every year where the parents come, grandparents come, brothers, sisters.
For the whole school?
For just my students. And
so this is something you have organized?
yeah, so there'll be about 40 people in my classroom, and we'll have a Thanksgiving dinner that the students prepare, or a spaghetti dinner that the students prepare for their parents. Because I have a life skills class, so we do a lot of cooking and things like that. And it really creates that sense of community, which I think is so important in education, because it really does take a whole village to raise a child.
Now I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You were involved in a special project inside the classroom with Ashli Dreher on WBBZ-TV.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's a wonderful way to recognize public school teachers. And I think that, teaching is really a noble profession, but teachers don't really get to be recognized as often as they should. So I wanted to select 13 teachers each year to be on the program, and we film them inside the classroom and then interview them in the studio, and they really do a great job discussing their practices and sharing the information that they've learned so that other teachers can benefit from it. And I think it's been a great way, to honor a profession. This season coming up, we have Lewiston Porter, the fitness center, that will be highlighted. It's a $3 million grant that we received from the Carol White grant from the state. Isn't it gorgeous?
Beautiful.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's just it's a gem, and it's probably the nicest, I would say, gymnasium and fitness center in Western New York. So I'm excited to highlight that, and other teachers in other districts. We have a teacher from Canton, and so a lot of different school districts, Hamburg and so on. And so I'm excited to be able to do that.
Teachers are so underestimated in society, and even get bad rap about too many vacations or not passing standard tests and so forth. Are you, I think, as part of your job, are you trying to educate the public about how important and essential teachers are to
Yes.
society?
Well, I'm always trying to educate the public, and what I would say is that right now, the biggest thing that the public needs to know is that teachers make all other professions possible, and public education is the cornerstone of our democracy. So while we're having this fight with charter schools, and our tax dollars are going to fund charter schools, we have to understand that, to me, it's more of a form of disguised segregation. We're going to take students that do not have disabilities, we're going to take students that do not have learning issues and put them in a charter school. But charter schools won't be able to service everyone, and that's what public schools do. So I think if charter schools are taking public tax dollars, they need to accept each and every child into their buildings
And
into
you've
their
done
classrooms.
such a great job of
We're so
recognizing
proud of
other
you.
teachers.
Thank you.
Ashley has recognized herself, and she recognizes other teachers. We've got to take a short break, and we're going to be back with somebody that can tell us all about Hamburg history. Stay with us.